Hi guys, so today I want to talk about some new mice I've been testing. I felt like not doing dedicated videos for these since, well, these are tried and true shapes with some spec upgrades basically. First, let's discuss the Pulsar Xlite Crazylight. So this is the smaller Xlite shape, which is a really nice mini ergo, and it just got the same treatment as the X2 Crazylight. This thing weighs around 45 grams on my scale, so it is not an extremely lightweight gaming mouse in today's standards, but it's still a very nimble to use, and the fact that it's an ergo makes it so you can't really notice weight differences that much. One thing they nail on these Crazylight mice is the weight balancing, and this too has a very centered weight, which feels very nice to use. Just like the X2 Crazylight, this is built really well, and there is like zero creaking on my copy even after weeks of use. One thing I absolutely love about this is the coating, since it's a nice rubberized white coating that doesn't seem to turn brown, like for example Logitech's white coatings do for some reason, and it offers an extremely good grip during these sweaty summer gaming sessions. Like, I'm just putting my palm there, and with a slight friction from my finger, I can hold this thing without any issues. On the bottom we can see it has just these two PCB mounted switches, just like on the X2 Crazylight, one for the power and one for the DPI, and for deeper adjustments you can use the WebDriver software. The main clicks are really nice, and they use the same nice switches that was on their X2 Crazylight, so Pulsar's FE opticals, and they are miles better than the previous click iterations of this shape. These have a nice snappy feel with minimal post and pre-travel. Yeah, they are really nice. The side buttons are also pretty nice, nothing bad to say about them, and the scroll wheel is something I like very much. It's pretty big for the mouse, but it's nicely smooth and easy to use in Apex. I have a feeling some people might not like this that much if they are fans of more tactile scrolls, so keep that in mind. Performance-wise, I did not care to do any latency tests, since this is using the same firmware as the X2 Crazylight, and it is nowadays really good. And even the battery life is decent. During these past 3 weeks or so I've charged it only once, I believe, and I have been using it with 4K polling the whole time. You do also have the possibility to lock the sensor scan rate to 20,000 FPS with the turbo mode if you want to squeeze every last bit of performance out of your mouse, but it will deplete your battery a whole lot faster. But this mouse, in conclusion, is hands down their best version of the Xlite, and I hope they will offer it also in the bigger format for people with bigger hands than mine. Okay, then these two. These are none other than the Endgame Gear OP1 8K V2 and OP1 Wireless 4K V2. The spec upgrades on these is much less noticeable than on the Pulsar, so what they basically did is they upgraded the sensor to the Pixar 3950. The white version also did get a smaller PCB and a slight weight reduction, and now it weighs just 51 grams on my scale. The wireless version is now 59 grams. I did shell swap these just for fun, and I really dig the white shell on the frost base. They also did one of their best decisions made by Germans ever, and they changed the adhesive on the stock skates, because the previous one was such a pain to remove. Now it just peels very easily off. No residue left. They also did change the scroll wheel encoder to be a bit more tactile, and that is pretty much it, I think. With the sensor upgrade there is some additions to the firmwares of these mice, and now the wireless version can run without any power saving modes applied, which will make the already impressive OP1 wireless even more one-to-one with the mouse movements. You will however deplete the battery quite fast with it enabled, just like the turbo mode on the Pulsar. There is also some other features like glass mode, which is meant for better tracking on glass surfaces, not meaning glass mousepads, but like glass tables and such, and maybe some others. So if you have the older OP1 8K or the wireless 4K, I think there is no reason to upgrade to these, but if you are on the market for the ultimate weapon that is on the smaller side, these are a top recommendation without a doubt. From these, I think I like the wired version slightly more, since the wire doesn't really bother me at all, and it's just a nice experience not to worry about the battery at all. And yeah, for this size, the weight of this is much better for me, I think. But yeah, here you have it. Some new mice that I've been trying out lately. Thanks for watching and goodbye.